All right, we start with that. Jeremy Fowler, respected journalist, said Harbaugh's name has percolated around the NFL. There is a belief that this might be the year. Take away the fact that maybe you just don't, like Jim Harbaugh. Michigan has had 3 great coaching hires in the history of this esteemed football program. Lloyd Carr was there for 13, won 75% of his games in a natty. Bo Schembechler's probably the biggest legend there for 21 seasons. 5 times he finished in the top 4. And then, indisputably, it's Jim Harbaugh, who's going to his 3rd straight season finishing in the top 4. Only there 9 years, but winning 77, almost 78% of the games. Lloyd Carr, Schembechler, Jim Harbaugh, those are their 3 great football hires. But with Harbaugh, unlike the other 2, at least in their prime, with Harbaugh, he's become like politics and religion. You can't change anybody's opinion on him, and everybody's got a strong opinion on him, right? But more than anything, this can't be disputed. Ohio State was arguably, along with Alabama, the best college football program in America about 4 years ago. Now they are the 2nd best football program in their own conference, the Big Ten. Jim Harbaugh has relegated Ohio State to just another team Michigan beats. Focus, physical, run-first power football. Just like the Niners, Stanford, Ohio State was pushed around by Michigan for the 3rd year in a row. And this was the great Ohio State defense. It was vaunted. It was exceptional. And yet Ohio State scored on every single drive of the second half. They weren't kneeling, with over 120 yards rushing in the second half. That is owning somebody. It was just 4 years ago that Ohio State was 2nd to Alabama in most eyes. Now they're 2nd in the Big Ten. And like politics and religion, the Harbaugh haters line up. They've got to find a way to tear him down. He's cheating. The scandal, it signs. Again, without the signs, Michigan, even more dominant than previous years, scored on every second half drive. They didn't kneel. In politics these days, if you're wrong, you can claim it was rigged. That's clever, isn't it? In religion, you can claim if you're wrong, well, the man upstairs doesn't exist at all, right? You can be agnostic. And in football, Ohio State can claim a lot of things, but one thing is indisputable. As long as Jim Harbaugh remains the coach of Michigan, you may occasionally beat him, but they will have the best coach and the best culture in the series. That is indisputable. They are power football personified. Ohio State now gets pushed around at the line of scrimmage. Even their vaunted defenses can't stop Michigan in second halves. In politics, you can just claim we actually won, it was rigged. At Ohio State, you can claim it's cheating. It was removed this year. And again, they scored on every drive. They didn't kneel. The only way, unlike religion, you can't claim he doesn't exist. The only way to retake this series, if you're a Buckeye, go back to the start of my rant. Cross your fingers that he leaves. That's the only way. All right. So the Warriors last night played sort of an up-and-coming Warrior team, the Sacramento Kings. They had a great playoff series last year. A lot of people like Sacramento. Beam, light, beam, whatever it was called. Everybody loves Sacramento. And they just weren't quite ready to win, but they got close. They met again last night. Warriors had this game, but Steve Kerr doesn't like playing young guys. Pulled out Moses Moody, who was hot, went with the old guys, and it didn't work. But one of the things in sports that's important, instead of nitpicking Tiger in his prime or nitpicking this quarterback or that quarterback, enjoy the ride while it's great, because great doesn't last very long. Find me a dynasty, and I think the Warriors' dynasty is officially dead. Find me one that elegantly ended, on their terms. The Patriots now, a mess. Spurs bottomed out. Joe Gibbs left Washington. They've never recovered. Spurs, Lakers post-Kobe, half decade, awful. If you look at Michael Jordan leaving the Bulls, the next 6 years, I believe the most wins Chicago had was 30. None of them end elegantly. And usually for the same reason, right? You get overly loyal to people that got you trophies. They're past their prime. You sign them to one more contract. There's cap space limitations. You're missing a draft pick. This is where I'll give the Warriors a lot of credit. They tried to infuse this roster with draft picks, youth, new guys. But D'Angelo Russell, like he is with the Lakers, was too screwy. They got rid of him. Andre Iguodala was great, briefly. Bogut, great, got hurt. But the draft picks, Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, none of them work. And I think there's a reason none of them work. Jordan Poole. Why don't they work? Well, number one, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and Steve Kerr coaching it. It's very high IQ basketball. And increasingly in college sports, you get Wemby at 19 or Chet Holmgren at 19 or 20. They're not emotionally ready to play. They're not physically ready to play. So you have this like legendary offense. Draymond and Steph are the catalyst. It's very, very young, virtually impossible for young guys to fit in. They're just not ready to play. And the other thing is that it's a unique system with two incredibly unique players, Draymond Green and Steph. And for the record, old stars mostly don't like playing with young guys. When LeBron James went to Miami, D-Wade, Bosh, he recruited Ray Allen, Battier, loved Haslam, Mike Miller. When LeBron went to Cleveland, they could have had Andrew Wiggins as a pick. He's like, give me Kevin Love. Kyrie Irving's been around a few years. He didn't want the young guys. When LeBron got to Los Angeles, they had Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball. He got him out of town. He wanted Anthony Davis. Kevin Durant chose Kyrie Irving. Now he goes to Phoenix. He wants older guys. Go look at Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. The great players, after they have the bag and rings, they don't want to be mentors. They don't want to be school teachers, right? What can you do for them? What can you do for me? And that doesn't mean Steph Curry's selfish. He's the opposite. But Draymond Green's got no tolerance for Jordan Poole. Either does Clay or Steph. They don't have any time to waste on Kuminga unable to figure out the offense, or Wiseman's 19 years old, can't even have a glass of wine at the hotel bar. They don't have time for it. LeBron doesn't want to play with young guys. Katie didn't want to play with young guys. Michael Jordan didn't want to play with kids. Steph, Draymond don't either. It's nobody's fault. Steve Kerr doesn't want to coach him. Last night, Moody was red hot, fourth quarter, pulled him out, went with the old guys. Steve doesn't want to coach young kids. It's understandable. Old stars don't want and don't generally mesh with the young guys. They're past that stage. It doesn't end elegantly. Did you ever think in your life, after watching 20 years of the Patriots dynasty, they would be embarrassing? Because that's what they are now. Like, they're embarrassing. Belichick seems completely out of touch. Greg Popovich got the number one pick for a reason. They bottomed out. The Bulls looked so smartly run for years, and then they weren't. The Lakers are the biggest brand in the NBA, post-Kobe. Ugh, hard to watch. This is the way it was destined to end. They'll have their moments, but winning a 7-game series over the Warriors, over the Nuggets, over the Celtics, over the Bucks, over the Sixers, I don't see it. And right now, not over the Kings either. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.